Hi, I'm Elaine. Welcome to my kitchen. So, my son asked for pulled pork today, and being vegan, I don't eat meat. So, I'm going to go to a staple that is very close to mimicking the texture of meat or something like pork, and that is the mushroom. And the ones I have here sitting on my counter are oyster mushrooms. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to shred the mushroom so that it resembles that of like a pulled meat. And then I'm going to season it and bake it and add a little bit of barbecue sauce and get him what he wants. So before beginning the video, I did go through the oyster mushrooms with a damp paper towel and I gently brushed off any sort of dirt and debris that I might have found on them. And I'm going to leave this here as I work just in case if I've missed something or I see something, I can go ahead and continue to clean it. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to, and I usually do more than just one little section of it, but I'm going to start with 2 forks and I'm going to hold it down and just start sort of shredding it. And it already has this sort of shredded type texture to it where it looks like it's a bit shredded. So it's going to mimic that pulled, again, meat texture really well. Great thing about using something like a mushroom, whether you're vegan or not, is that mushrooms do offer some vitamin D in them, which is great. You're also going to get other benefits such as it helps to lower cholesterol, it helps to protect your brain health, and it does a host of other things for the body. So if it's not something that you've tried, definitely do consider adding it to your diet. I think you'll really enjoy it. But I am going to, again, get started on my task of separating the oyster mushroom, and I will come back once I have it all separated. We will season it, and I will continue with the rest of the recipe at that time. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. So I've shredded the oyster mushroom to make it appear like meat. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to drizzle just a little bit of olive oil over it. And I used to have one of those little sprays for olive oil of so it allowed you to put just ever so much, just like a little on it, and I love that. But you could add olive oil to it and then just kind of spray it on your whatever you're cooking or um, whatnot, and I love it. But I ended up damaging mine, and I've not gotten another one, so I just kind of drizzle it. And if you find pieces that are maybe a little bit bigger, you can just go ahead and shred them a little bit more again. But I just wanted to make sure that it is fairly coated in the olive oil because I'm then going to season it. And I've already preheated the oven to 400 degrees. And you really want this to, it's pulled, so it's a little shredded, so it's a little difficult not to be on top of each other, but you want to make sure that it's kind of, and I'm going to toss it again, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So, okay, that looks pretty good. And then I have here salt, paprika, and also cayenne pepper to give it just a little bit of a kick. And I'm going to just go ahead and stir those together. And then I am just going to some of that and just sprinkle it. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of a stir again. Actually, I should have added my garlic too, but I'll do that at the end as well. And again, if you find a piece that you think could be shredded a little bit more, now's your chance to do it. I have a little bit of garlic here. I love garlic and onions. Just gonna add a little bit of garlic to that. Mix that around as well. And I'm not adding too much oil. I don't want it to be saturated. I am gonna add a little bit more, but I want it to crisp up a little bit in the oven. I'm just gonna add a little bit of more oil. Then I'm gonna do some more of the seasoning on it to make sure it is nicely coated. Okay. Boy, if I should add onions to this as well. Garlic and onions are some of my two favorite ingredients. I don't know about you, but I love anything with garlic and onions in it. It's great. So I'm just gonna, again, stir that up a little bit. And that looks nicely coated. Okay. And I just want to spread it out a little bit. So again, to make sure it can crisp up. If they're on top of each other, of course, it doesn't cook as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. Just kind of make sure that is spread out. And we are going to add this to the oven. And then we're going to bake for about 20 minutes. I'm probably going to stir it at the halfway mark. And I will pull it back out and show you how we will finish this up so you can have your own barbecue pulled pork at your house too. Welcome back. So I've just taken the oyster mushrooms out of the oven. We're now going to transfer them to a pan, and then we're going to cook it a little bit on the pan with some barbecue sauce, and it will be ready. I love the parchment paper. It just makes it so easy to cook with. I'm just going to pick that up as so and transfer it to my baking dish. And as you can see, it did a fairly good job at protecting my pan. So I'm happy with that. So that definitely does give you that sort of meaty texture. I'm going to add some barbecue sauce. I typically make my own, especially now that I'm going back to really watching how much sugar, the sugar and everything. So maybe I may share a recipe for barbecue sauce if that's of interest, but I'm just using a store-bought brand right now. You definitely choose your favorite barbecue sauce and add that to the mixture. We're going to place this on the stove top. We're going to cook it for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then it will be done. So once the barbecue sauce has thickened and the oyster mushrooms has absorbed it quite a bit, it's ready to serve. That typically, again, takes about 3 to 5 minutes. You may then serve it however you prefer. My son generally likes a bun or some sort of bread. He's chosen a pita bread today, and we've placed some of that pickled cabbage on it. I have completed another video today for the pickled cabbage recipe, should you like that. And for me, I prefer no bun. So I've served mine on top of celery root puree. And I'm happy to perhaps do a video on that as well. But it is a great substitute for white potatoes, which, of course, potatoes, if you're watching diabetes or something like that, it can kind of trigger your sugars. So this definitely has a lower glycemic index and your body can more readily receive it. It is wonderful. So I can definitely share that recipe with you. And then I also included a bit of that pickled cabbage on mine as well. It is that bright pink color, so just very visually interesting, but it is definitely tasty. And I will let you know just how much now. It's a wonderful combination I enjoy. I hope this is a recipe that you can find useful for your house and your home. Any questions, comments, please do so below. I hope you will like and subscribe, and please join me again.